Welcome back as we continue our Campaign 2020 coverage tonight. There are 9 candidates for 4 seats on Santa Cruz City Council, and every single candidate is a woman. Earlier tonight, we introduced you to 4 of the candidates, now the other 5. Maria Cadenas, Cherri Johnson, Elizabeth Conlon, Sonjabrenner, and Alicia Cool. KION's Drew Andre reports.
A crowded field of candidates is trying to separate themselves for 4 spots on Santa Cruz City Council.
And I devoted my entire career to address these issues, to find ways of making sure that we strengthen our local economies, that we support small businesses, and that we control the money that we create versus being controlled by them.
Maria Cadenas is the executive director of Santa Cruz Community Ventures and works on local wealth and equality in our area. She's lived in Santa Cruz for the last decade.
Housing is keeping us back. Housing is not allowing us to attract the best workforce. It's not allowing us to keep the workforce.
Cadenas is focused on economic recovery and housing, all with equity at the center of the solutions.
So monitoring the eviction moratoriums, looking at ways that we can have payoff opportunities.
Like Cadenas, Cherri Johnson is also an immigrant and's lived in Santa Cruz for more than 30 years. She's a consultant who focuses on public health and social services.
As a whole region, really, I hope that we can take this time to really pause and reflect on what hasn't been working in our city and what opportunities there are for us to change things.
Cherri Johnson is on the county's COVID-19 economic response team to support young adults experiencing homelessness.
We were able to, within a couple of weeks, temporarily house 30 youth in congregate shelter and really designed it in a way that would be conducive to kind of a transitional housing program.
Economic recovery and housing are the priorities for Cherri Johnson's platform.
We'll have to get very, very, very aggressive about leveraging outside resources. And what I mean by that is seeking and securing state and federal funds.
Elizabeth Conlon is a scientist who's newer to the area but has spent the last year involved in housing advocacy in the city of Santa Cruz.
The city can use city-owned land in downtown, give that to nonprofit housing developers to have them build low-income restricted housing, and should rezone to allow smaller multifamily housing units such as duplexes and fourplexes in more neighborhoods in Santa Cruz.
Conlon sees homelessness as a top issue for the city too.
Doing a better job connecting the chronically homeless with services like substance abuse treatment and mental health counseling.
How can we make our neighborhood better?
Sonjabrenner has lived in Santa Cruz nearly 30 years and is the director of the Downtown Association. Brenner says she's focused on health, including public safety, the environment, and local business.
As much of the funding and programs in place that really support our workers and support our most vulnerable community members.
Brenner believes her experience working with different divisions of the city in her time with the Downtown Association makes her well equipped for the seat.
My intention is to serve my community, and I think I'm open-minded and fair and have a great understanding. I have a ton of experience over the last 2 decades.
And homeless advocate Alicia Cool says her experience as the president of the Santa Cruz Homeless Union and as a case manager will bring a voice to those most vulnerable in Santa Cruz.
This is my life's work. I kind of know the needs in our community that are not being met, such as mental health services, substance abuse services.
Cool says she's not afraid to speak out on controversial issues for meaningful change.
The voices of the impacted often, again, go unheard. And so we need a seat at the table.
She sees the housing crisis and pandemic response as the most important issues for the city.
I think we need to look at a lot of different avenues to bring revenue. And we're spending a lot of money on needs services that could be ran by volunteers.
For KION News Channel 546, I'm Drew Andre.